Ladies and gentlemen, you are requested to stand for the arrival of His Excellency Mr. Cyril Ramaphosa, President of the Republic of South Africa. This concludes the fly past. Please stand for the reading of the hymnal of the Republic of South Africa. People of South Africa recognize the injustice of our past, honors those who suffered for justice and freedom in our land, respect those who have worked to build and develop our country, and believe that South Africa belongs to all who live in it, united in diversity. We therefore, through our freely elected representatives, adapt this Constitution as the supreme law of the Republic, so as to deal with the divisions of the past and establish a society based on democratic values, social justice, and fundamental human rights. lay the foundations for a democratic and open society in which government is based on the will of the people and every citizen is equally protected by law. Improve the quality of life of all citizens and free the potential of each person and build a united and democratic South Africa able to take its rightful place as a sovereign state in the family of nations. May God protect our people. Please be seated. Captain General M.A. Jamandile will now lead us as First Reading and Prayer.
We respect all expressions of faith that are with us this morning. From the Holy Book, we read, we always thank God for all of you, mentioning you in our prayers. We continue to remember before our God and our Father your work produced by faith, your labor prompted by love, and your endurance inspired by hope. Don't forget to remember. People forget, but where people forget, God remembers. And we, as God's people, have no right to forget what God remembers. If we forget how we made it, God is a way of making us to remember. We are obligated to remember. When others have been kind to you, don't forget to remember. We have been permitted by God this morning to celebrate the lives of these outstanding men of standing qualities whose unselfish sacrifices made such an indelible lasting impression to us. We have come because it is an opportunity to give God honor and glory for the lives of these men who unequivocally gave their all. This morning, we celebrate the respect and recapture the relevance of these men, whose untiring and unselfish sacrifices brought us to where we are today. We must call to mind, if not at all least, some of men who helped shape popular thinking and gave direction during crucial times in the life of our world. In conclusion, men who not only instilled in us a legacy of self-help, self-worth, and self-determination, but also instilled in us discipline and sense of belonging. Finally, and now, these three remain: faith, hope, and love. But the greatest of these is love, shown by these men. Let us pray. God Almighty, we commend this parade unto your throne of grace. Amen.
Dit is nie die bel van nou weer. Ladies and gentlemen, His Excellency Mr. Cyril Matunala Ramaphosa, President of the Republic of South Africa, will now lay the salute.
Which way do I go?
His Excellency Mr. Cyril Matunala Ramaphosa, President of the Republic of South Africa, will now address the parade.
Program Director, Minister of Defense and Military Veterans, Ms. Nesiviwe Mapisa Nakula, Deputy Minister of Defense and Military Veterans, Mr. Tabang Makwetla, Chief of the South African National Defense Force, General Soli Shoke, the military command officers, the non-commissioned officers, warrant officers, and ladies and gentlemen. On National Armed Forces Day, we commemorate those who lost their lives when the SS Mendi sank in the English Channel during the First World War. Today marks 104 years since those brave soldiers met their demise in the line of duty. As we remember them, we also recognize and celebrate the contribution of our men and women in uniform to building a better life for South African people and for the peoples of the African continent. As we mark this day, the highest ideal for which the soldiers on the SS Mendi lived and died remains as true as ever, even today. You who have the honor of being members of our armed forces gathered here and elsewhere around our country, must pick up the spears of these fallen heroes and heroines in our effort to give our people lasting peace, security, and stability in our country. Today, National Armed Forces Day is not taking place as before. This time last year, we marked Armed Forces Day in Polokwane in the Limpopo province, just a few weeks before the coronavirus pandemic broke out in our country. The South African National Defence Force has been essential to our national effort to confront coronavirus. Through the invaluable work that you have done and continue to do during this pandemic, you have demonstrated that the South African National Defence Force can be relied on in good times as well as in bad times, in times of peace and times of war, in times of stability and prosperity, and in times of national crisis. By virtue of your calling, your commitment and allegiance to the Constitution, you acted when your country needed you most. It was our soldiers who helped to maintain law and order in the early days of the lockdown. The landward force deployed no less than 33 companies in just under 72 hours. The South African National Defence Force undertook mercy missions to repatriate our citizens abroad who were fearful and wanted to be reunited with their families, and you brought them home. The South African Army Engineers Corps helped deliver clean drinking water to many vulnerable communities around our country. The South African Air Force and the Logistics Division managed the distribution of much-needed supplies to deployed forces. The South African Military Health Service deployed its personnel in all provinces of our country, where they worked in hotspots and helped set up field hospitals and quarantine sites. But what perhaps touched us as the nation most was the sight of South African National Defence Force members helping the elderly carry their groceries, walking alongside young people making their way home, and many other instances that showed our armed forces at their very best. We know the SANDF to be a disciplined force. We know that the Defence Forces will not accept any actions by any of its members that violate the laws of our country or the rights of our people. We know that where there are transgressions, it will act against those who are responsible. As the men and the women of our armed forces, you continue to work to build our country. You are engaged in disaster rescue missions, in building bridges to improve the lives of communities, and rehabilitating rivers from the effects of spillages. You are not just armed forces that exist to defend our country. You are foremost forces of development as well as progress. We salute the soldiers who have succumbed to COVID-19. They are heroes who died in the line of duty. We honor and salute them because they were prepared to lay down their own lives so that all of us as South Africans can live. We owe them a debt of gratitude and convey our deepest condolences to their families and loved ones. We honor these men and women in uniform who continue to put their own lives on the line to defend our nation and to contribute to peacemaking and to peace building on our continent. Men and women of the SANDF, we thank you for the work that you have done to protect our nation, our people, and our country at this most difficult of times, where you spared neither strength nor courage, where you displayed incredible commitment, strength, and courage to our people. On this National Armed Forces Day, all the people of South Africa wish you well. We have no doubt that as we begin the immense task of rebuilding and recovery, that we can count on you as we have always counted on you as a nation to forever be on the side of the people of South Africa, in their service, in their defense, and in making sure that all that is good to the people of South Africa is what you will do. I thank you.
Please stand for the departure of the President. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated.
Podium group, attention. Podium group, about 10. Podium group, quick march.
This concludes the Guard of Honor parade and replaying ceremony. Thank you.